What's up, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of Board Bag Studio, the podcast where I talk to snowboarders about their habits regarding fitness, health, and everything else. I'm your host, Jesse Paul, and today I spoke with Brady Lem in his apartment in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This episode is brought to you by Raw Life Superfoods. It is a superfood company, organic, started by pro skateboarder John Mata and his brother, pro BMXer Joey Mata. They've got a green superfood powder, they've got a protein powder, and they even have some raw, unfiltered honey and algae oil. All the stuff is amazing. I've had it all, and I really appreciate somebody in the skate industry creating a product like this because there's a million things to choose from, a million people for you to give your money to, and it's cool to give it to people who like to do things at least similar to what we like to do. So support your homies, and their logo is a weird little dinosaur. How can you argue with that? I put the protein powder and the superfood powder in my smoothie almost every morning, and it makes me feel good for the rest of the day. Gives me energy, and it actually tastes great, unlike a lot of products similar out there. So why don't you get yourself some with my 20% off code? Just use the code Jesse at rawrlife.com, www.rawrlife.com. Promo code Jesse will get you 20% off. What can I say? Brady's a good dude. He's always happy, always smiling, always having a good time. He's got a good head on his shoulders, and so it was really, really unfortunate to see him break his leg back in January. I was there, and I really don't wish it upon anyone, but, you know, seeing it in person, especially to a friend of mine, it was really hard to see, and it was really crazy because pretty much exactly a year prior, I had done the same injury, and it was crazy to think back like, oh, wow, 12 months ago, I was in this exact same position, and here I am feeling as good as I had before the injury. And so for any of you out there who get injured, hopefully you don't break your leg, but you know, you'll come back from it, and I hope this conversation will provide some inspiration. It's really cool to see how you can heal yourself. And I just figured it would be awesome to talk to Brady while he's in the midst of it still. And I mean, there's a lot of things that I wish I remembered that people ask me about from the recovery process. So it was really fun to talk to him about all this stuff. He seems to be maintaining an awesome attitude, and he's looking great, and he's going to be back on board before you know it. He's one of my favorite people to snowboard with and to watch, and I think he's got a great future ahead of him in snowboarding and in life in general. So sit back and listen to Brady Lem and get some inspiration from this dude. Brady Lem.
Hey.
What's going on?
Just hanging, man.
Yeah, we're at your house in Minneapolis.
Yep.
Is this, what area are we technically in right now?
We're technically in Uptown, Minneapolis. Just
Awesome.
moved here October.
From
Tahoe, actually. I had a room in Tahoe for the past 7 years or so, and I just wanted to switch it up.
Nice.
Be here full time. I kept traveling back here to go film, so I thought I might as well move to where it's at, you know?
Yeah. When you were in Tahoe, you were constantly not there, right?
Exactly.
I feel like I actually was at your house a bunch of different times, and you were never there. Like, I'd see your room, but
Yeah. It was almost pointless. I would leave in December and wouldn't come back till April, or I'd come back for 2 days at a time, and the airport's an hour away too. So I just wanted to be closer to an airport, and no one wants to pick you up at the Reno airport every week. So
yeah,
thought I might as well come back here. The preseason here is good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you can come back and get back on your feet for a couple of days at the resorts too. It's way easier here than a mountain. So
yeah, that's the one thing that I missed about, or one of the things that I missed about moving away from the Midwest is getting ready in the beginning of the season. Like riding a tow rope on small park features is the best way to get started. It's awesome.
Yeah, you feel ready for the season first week of December.
Yeah,
for sure. So,
and you moved out to Tahoe right after high school?
Yeah, right after high school, I moved out to go to Sierra Nevada College with Tommy Gesme, actually.
Yeah, I remember you too.
We kind of went rogue, no one from our high school was going out west at all. We just went to school in Nevada too, because it was technically over the border of California. So we went out there and kind of fell in love. The snowboarding out there is great. The season's longer.
And how long did you guys go to school for?
Because that's a good question. So I went for only the first year, and then I switched to doing online classes just because I wanted to travel more and not be so based off the school's schedule. And I think Tommy made it a year. He made it like a year and a half. I think he dropped out to go to on that Dragon Frameless tour the first year they did that. And that was in like November. Yeah. Which is pretty funny. It was like, I think there was like 3 weeks left of school and he just was like, nah.
He's done.
I gotta go. And
well, you guys also got some recognition out there. Tell me if I'm wrong, but from seeing it from Minnesota, I was still in Minnesota and I noticed that you guys both moved out west, and then all of a sudden you guys were in these different edits and you guys both started riding for Burton, and it was like a really awesome move for you guys. And I feel like in the Midwest you can be so good at snowboarding and it's harder to get noticed because everybody's so good at snowboarding, and then you go somewhere like that and people are probably like, whoa, these kids are really good, like, do you feel like that's kind of what happened?
It's so true. 100%. I think the level of riding here compared to out there, we kind of stood out in Tahoe. As we're here, we're just another kid, or not even close to being as good as some of the best kids were, but out there, I don't know, the level of riding is so high in the Midwest. Yeah. And it was easier to get noticed out there for sure. And be in bigger edits and, stuff like that.
That's awesome.
So I think it definitely helped the both of us to get out and go out west and
just do something different.
Do something else, yeah.
Yeah, and what were you guys both kind of just starting with generals at first in college? Like, did you guys both have aspirations to actually do college, or were you mainly went out there to go snowboarding and like get in a different spot? Yeah, we definitely, I think both of our parents kind of wanted us to go to school, and I think I still wanted to go to school too, regardless, and so did Tommy. But I think also in the back of our heads, we wanted somewhere where we could go snowboarding too. And Tahoe sounded fun. I think I visited the school one time, and it seems like a great place to live. Seems like it would be super fun to do that whole thing, like school boarding. You got the lake.
It was almost like a snowboard school. Everyone in the dorm rooms was just going snowboarding or skiing or it was kind of like that's the sport there. I actually was on the snowboard team. I got
nice,
like almost like $10,000 off my tuition from doing the snowboard team, which was pretty lame, but like for going to do a couple,
that's awesome. I would do that.
Yeah. A couple collegiate contests or something.
Yeah.
But it was cool. They like flew us out to Maine for nationals, and
damn.
Yeah, I actually ended up winning I was the slopestyle and big air champion.
Oh wow.
2013 or something.
Dang.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Not much to brag about.
Is that an age group?
Or no, it's like
that's like you were the national champion of.
For college, yeah.
Oh, okay,
for like collegiate schools doing the ski and snowboard.
Okay, got it.
Teams.
Nice.
And for the ski racing, it was pretty big, but for the snowboarding, it was kind of just like 8 kids from the school who just wanted to, I don't know.
Yeah. So when you were younger, you were doing some USASA contests and stuff, right, at Highland?
Yeah, I was doing the USASA contests, probably from 12 to 16 or 17. I would see them at a young age, and all the best kids at Highland were doing it, and I wanted to be involved in that. And I think it helped me be a better snowboarder too, and a lot of my friends were doing it at the time, and
Tommy was doing it too?
Yeah, Tommy and Andy LaTurner and
oh, cool.
couple of other friends would join in too.
That's awesome.
It was pretty competitive back then.
Oh, I believe it.
It was like some serious snowboard moms and dads.
Yeah.
Getting in there yelling at the judges if their son didn't get the right score.
It was fun though. Did you like doing it?
Yeah, I actually did like doing it. I think I did them. The last one I did, I was 18. So I mean, I did it up until I think actually 1 year out of high school. I even did straight to nationals.
And that was different than the collegiate nationals.
Yeah, that was completely different.
Okay.
The collegiate one
I thought
was
it was part of like the whole same like contest system.
No. The collegiate one was kind of a joke. You know?
Okay,
that was
got
like,
it.
That was like super low end.
Yeah.
Contest. Like you could barely call it a contest.
So you sandbagged it.
100%. Sandbagged the collegiate contest. It was a no-brainer.
That's funny. Nice.
But worth it for the tuition.
Yeah, dude, for sure. 10 grand.
Yeah, contests are cool too.
Basically, just winning 10 grand and just all goes to school.
Yeah. I had to prove myself.
Yeah.
I feel like I like talked to their snowboard coach or something and had to send in like a tape, and they're like, all right, we'll hook you up if you come snowboard for our team.
Dang.
So
that's
funny.
Awesome. More schools should have that. It's like, I mean, there's all kinds of athletes you can be and get free tuition, and there's only a few schools across the country that even care enough about snowboarding to give anything. I know there's maybe a school in Utah that you can get full board for being on the snowboard team.
Yeah, I think Westminster.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
It's like another smaller school, but
I wonder if they have graduate programs.
I don't know, maybe.
That'd be kind of cool. Anyways, yeah, it would be sweet if it was more recognized across the country, like, or skateboarding too. Like, do places or do colleges do that?
I don't think so.
Maybe now that it's going to be in the Olympics, maybe we'll get there someday.
Yeah, it's true.
That'd be kind of crazy. College skateboard teams.
Dude.
Wow.
I know they have like high school and college surf teams, I'm pretty sure. So
yeah, I believe it.
I wouldn't be surprised if skateboarding's up next. Kind of weird, but
yeah. And be. So you said you took some online courses. Did you do that for another couple semesters or?
I did that for another year and a half, I think. And then after that,
it's hard.
I just wanted to focus on snowboarding. And also I'd gotten to the 2-year mark to where if I wanted to be serious about going to school,
you got to start pick a specialization and like.
Exactly. And kind of pick a school that I wanted to graduate from. Yep. You can't graduate online, obviously. So. Yeah. But soon after that, I mean, I was busy enough with snowboarding that I was never just hanging, being a bum. So. Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty good place to be. Like but you basically have your associates, right?
Yeah.
You just like have all your generals and stuff.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's kind of a smart way to do it in the position you're in because, I mean, I graduated, I have a bachelor's degree. But I've been thinking about it lately and it's like I graduated in 2015. So I'm 4 years out of college. And if I wanted to even, if I wanted to stop snowboarding right now and just go straight into the workforce, it would be kind of hard for me to get a job in my degree because I haven't really been, I have some professional experience working closer with sessions and like, producing this movie or helping to produce this movie and some other things that I've done like photography. But as far as the things that I actually studied, I can't really just hop into a job. Like it's not that easy. It's hard enough for people straight out of school to get a job in what they studied.
No, that's very true.
And so it's like, I'm almost thinking like, I wonder if I'll have to go back to school to get a master's degree to even go into some other field or whatever, where if I had gotten an associate's and then I could just finish my bachelor's and go straight into work, like once I'm ready to do that, it almost seems like that would be cheaper and it would, make more sense. So I think you're sitting in a pretty good spot right now.
Thanks, man. I hope so, at least.
Short, condensed version of that.
For after snowboarding.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think
smart
that was
to keep
half
those
of
things
it.
in mind.
No, it definitely is. I mean, yeah, but it is crazy. I guess I didn't want to be snowboarding for 10 years or whatever, and I'm 35, graduated school when I'm 22, and they're like, well, you haven't done anything in the past 13 years. Like, you're outdated by now. And I guess if I go to school when I'm done snowboarding, whenever that is, or like done snowboarding professionally, or with the help of sponsors, you know, at least go refresh my mind and get straight into it.
Yeah, and then you can be fully engaged in what you're studying, and you can get an internship and like actually start to build towards getting into a career versus being like, oh yeah, I was interested in this stuff and I graduated 10 years ago and the field has totally changed, but give me a job, you know? Like,
yeah, very true. No.
So that's cool. Nice. And so now you're back in Minneapolis, and as many people probably know, you are recovering from a broken leg. Horrible accident. I was there when it happened.
You were.
Pretty crazy. It happened on January 5th. And as we were talking before we started recording, I broke my leg on January 6th the previous year. And so it was kind of crazy. I'm sure it was a lot crazier for you, obviously, because you broke your leg. But it was crazy for me to be watching that situation a year later, pretty much exactly, and just being like, whoa, like I know exactly how you feel and where you're going to be in a year and what you're going to have to go through. And it was kind of crazy. So let's just start from the beginning of the season. Like, what were your plans for the beginning of the season? What happened that day? And we'll start there.
Wow. Yeah, that was a day for sure. But basically moved to Minnesota. Just wanted to continue getting better at snowboarding. Great place to warm up for the season. Also a good place to film. Kind of was hoping to, you know, film for the DC Transitors video series. They were going to Japan. They were going to Russia. There's one in Canada, I believe. And kind of was hoping to film here in between those series pretty much. You know, it'd be the easiest to come back here and film and not have to go on another trip in between these other trips. So basically was planning on doing that. And when I broke my leg, I actually was supposed to go to Japan, I think like 6 days later, which was a pretty big bummer.
Yeah.
Luckily I had flight insurance and got everything back, but that was heartbreaking to
Dude, have you been to Japan before?
No. No.
I'm sorry. That sucks.
Yeah, finally became real and then slipped away. But yeah, so basically Ethan Dice hit me up right before New Year's and was thinking about going up to Duluth, which is only 2.5 hours north of the Twin Cities of my house, and was obviously down. Ethan's a great dude, fun to film with, and you know, was pretty excited to get back on the horse and try to get some clips.
Sorry, and you were kind of just like a quick little trip. He wasn't like, oh, hey, come film with us for the year. You're just like, oh yeah, I got some days, like let's go get up there.
Exactly. Yeah,
it was just super casual.
Very casual, quick trip. Didn't plan on having the clips anywhere. Just kind of was going to go and kind of get a warm up on the season, regardless. And yeah, I ended up going up. I mean, it was like seriously a 3 or 4 day trip. I think it was supposed to be. And yeah, it was on a Saturday, and we were actually gonna leave that afternoon. Everyone had planned on heading out that night or that late afternoon, and you know, I wasn't too set on going crazy that trip. Kind of just wanted to warm up. And I wasn't really too hyped on anything in Duluth to snowboard on. And
it's a hard place to go to these days.
It is, yeah. It seems like everyone's been there.
Yeah.
Done that. So there was just this one spot that I was super hyped on. It was like this flat bar to a down flat ledge, and kind of been looking at it every day. And there's always cars in the landing. And that was really the only thing that I wanted to snowboard on that trip. And finally the last day came around, and I was like, let's go do that. And we went the night before and put up some cones in the landing and made sure that we could just go tomorrow morning or the next morning and get it done. And yeah, it was a nice sunny Saturday morning, you know, above freezing. The vibes were good.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day.
It's a nice day. You were just gotten a pretty crazy clip that morning, right?
Oh, it was that morning, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I jumped off a roof at sunrise, basically. And then we're like, oh yeah, they're going to hit that thing. Well, like I just came to come help out. I grabbed my camera, and you guys already had it set up, so I just grabbed my camera and started getting ready to shoot. Yeah.
It was super low key.
It was like a really mellow spot. I was looking at it and I was like, oh yeah, I could be down to hit this, but I don't really know what I would do. But I wasn't like, oh, this thing looks sketchy. I was just like,
yeah,
cool.
No.
Yeah, it's a sweet spot, but I'll let these guys get their shit, you know?
Sure, yeah. I mean, it's one of those spots that film's cool and necessarily isn't too crazy.
Yeah, exactly. It was just really unique, like very different.
Yeah, and no one had snowboarded on it in Duluth, which found out later that some kids had cleared out a bunch of trees and brush to make it accessible in the first place. But
yeah, which is probably why you haven't seen it in the past.
Exactly, yeah. Otherwise, it definitely would have been.
Yeah, because it's right on one of the main roads.
I'm sure a lot of kids have looked at it.
Yeah.
And probably know. Those Duluth kids know what spot it is and what tree took me out.
Yeah.
But basically, yeah, I mean, I wasn't shook at the spot at all. It was a really mellow morning, excited to get a clip. And
yeah, there was that tree in the landing, but it looked like it wasn't even in line with the ledge at all. Like, it looked like it was totally... Like, I didn't even me, somebody who's broken their leg on something before, I didn't look at it. And I wasn't like, ooh, that tree looks like bad news, you know? But but apparently it was.
Me either, dude. Yeah. You'd have to, like, ride down the stairs to run into it, and even then you'd be fine.
Yeah.
You know? But, yeah, I think I eventually ended up, you know, I hit it maybe, like, 3 or 4 times, and every time just... It's pretty mellow. It was going fine. I actually did, like, a board slide to 50 to the ledge, 180 out. That I was hyped on, probably like the 4th try, but my arms kind of flailed a little bit. And I watched the clip and I was like, whatever, I'll just do it again. No problem. And I think that was my demise, was I got super comfortable and like I basically already did it. Like I just autopilot. And I watched the clip and I kind of went from my front foot to my left foot on the rail into the ledge, which is kind of what you had to do because the ledge was so close to the rail. And in my eyes, I kind of wanted to board slide and then pop super hard to the ledge kind of.
Oh, okay.
You know what I'm saying?
You went front foot to left foot.
I kind of like swooped it. I kind of went like nose slide to tail slide and then popped into the ledge.
Oh, got it.
I kind of wanted to go
while you were still on the rail.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And I kind of wanted to go nose slide and pop to it.
Yeah.
And I think I just got too comfortable and kind of a little lazy.
Caught on your, or wait, no, you like slipped kind of back.
I popped into the ledge.
Yeah.
But I didn't pop enough. I kind of was going a little too slow. I think I didn't pop over to the left and I kind of popped straight and still made it onto the ledge, but I was on the right side of the ledge and tried to dodge. I knew that tree was right there, so I tried to hook left and kind of bounce back, like hook my heels in and jump backwards to dodge the tree.
Yeah.
And just didn't have enough jump to
it's
dodge
like your
the
body
tree.
Dodged it, but your legs were still going right for it.
Yeah. And I just hit the bottom of the tree, pretty much just
while you were still in the air too. That's what's crazy. You hit the tree, your leg wrapped around the tree before you were to the ground.
Yeah. Pretty much just flew into it.
Yeah.
I mean, it was also one of those spots where you're into a street and I was holding onto this tree to drop in, and you know I'd have to wait 45 seconds to a minute to know to drop because waiting for cars and stuff like that. And I think that kind of got in my head too and just got too comfortable.
Yeah.
Forgot that there was a tree there, but you know, like you said, you wouldn't think that tree would be a problem in the first place. So and then just smack. Instantly knew my leg was broken. I guess someone told me I tried to get up, and I just remember instantly my leg was so loose, you know, like same thing, you know, you're like, well, that's broken for sure. Like you move your body, your leg doesn't move.
Like, you know, like within a second.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
And I guess you can hear it. I've never even looked at the clip yet, but I guess you can hear it.
I'm sure you can hear it, dude, for sure.
I remember Ethan was telling me, he's like, I'm not sure if the tree broke or that was your leg, which is pretty funny. But yeah, instantly leg broke and I was screaming for sure. More so pissed, screaming fuck.
Yeah.
A lot, you know, just so mad. I knew I was going to Japan. It's just like, that was my first reaction, was just bummed that my season was definitely over and couldn't believe that it happened, you know, on something like that, especially. And I'm sure the same thing goes through anybody going through an injury like that. You don't think that it's going to happen to you.
Yeah, you just like,
happen at that
for
spot.
sure. That's one of my first reactions was like, I can't believe that's actually happened. Like, I'm looking at my leg and I'm like, it like feels so traumatic and so not real. Like, you're going from, you know, being a person snowboarding to like being in this really crazy state of like almost dreamlike. I don't know. It's wild.
Yeah. Did you like go into shock or anything like that?
Oh yeah. 100%.
You did.
Yeah. I mean, you know, you can define going into shock a bunch of different ways, but I felt like, like I was saying, I felt like I felt like an animal. Like I felt like in a completely different psychological state. And so I think that was shock. I didn't like faint. I was totally coherent.
I see. Were you screaming for yours? Or like, were you like in a lot of pain?
I wasn't screaming really. I was kind of more like, fuck, you know?
Yeah.
And just like, I was in a lot of pain, but mostly I was just like super freaked out. Like, oh my God, you know, like, and like, I was just like tense, like squeezing my hands and just like,
yeah,
like breathing really hard, like just trying to get through it and just being like, get me in the ambulance right now. Like somebody, like, you know what I mean? I was just in freak out mode.
Like just give me some juice. Give me whatever you got.
Like,
I don't want to feel this anymore.
Yeah. Such a bad feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I was just angry, dude. I definitely wasn't in like shock.
Pissed.
I was just mad. I was just so fucking mad that had happened, you know. And I remember the cops showed up, and like the cops showed up first, and they were being like such dicks.
Yeah.
Remember that? Like you have a photo of like Derek, our filmer, like trying to clean up the spot while I'm like still laying there with a broken leg. The cops are just like no regard for my broken leg. They're just like,
he's just like, oh, well, I told you guys not to do this, or like I kicked somebody out here the other day. And it's like, dude, shut the fuck up. Like, come on.
It's like my leg is fucking sideways.
This is not the time. Like, you can wag your finger at us once we take care of our friend here. Like,
yeah,
he's clearly like experiencing a really rough time right now. Like, come on, we're just humans. Like, we didn't hurt anybody else. We hurt ourselves. It's our own fault. Like,
he had no remorse. He had no sympathy at all. He was just like, you guys are fucking
I think that's
dumb.
the first time I've ever sworn at a cop, actually. I was just like, are you fucking serious? Something along those lines. Like, pretty casual, but still after I was like, ooh, I like kind of opened my mouth at that guy.
Dude, but you had every right to. I feel like everyone was kind of like, dude, come on. Like, like, let's take care of this. And then we know we're not supposed to be here or be doing this. Like, his leg is fucking broken. Like, give us a second. But yeah.
And then the ambulance showed up, and dude told you to keep it together. You remember that?
Yeah, dude. Oh man, I wish I went into some sort of shock, because I feel like I could feel every little bit.
Oh.
I was 100% there, you know.
I mean, I remember everything very clearly. I remember every sensation. I was in a ton of pain as well. I don't know if you're thinking of shock as being like, I didn't feel it or anything. Like, it was painful. And like the worst pain I experienced through the whole thing is when they picked me up onto the stretcher. I don't know if you felt the same way.
Yep. That's why I was horrible. So mad at the dude. I did not want to go on that stretcher, but I knew, obviously.
Yeah.
That was the only way.
Yeah, you have to.
Only way. But they got me in that stretcher, juiced me up, and it was great from there on out.
Dude, and they gave you ketamine.
Dude.
Tell me about that. I didn't get ketamine.
God, I didn't even know, you know. I think they got to the hospital. It's kind of all a blur. Mm-hmm. And, you know, they fully just knocked me out to reset my leg and take off all my shit, you know, my snowboard boots, my snow pants, everything. Mm-hmm. And I basically, like, just remember coming to. I was, like, literally me in the ambulance, memories of me in the ambulance, to, like, me waking up in this dreamlike state where I'm, like, getting pulled out of this crazy hole of, like, weird geometric shapes, and everything's all bubbly and, like, feels kind of nice. I almost felt like I was coming out of a womb or something. I don't really know. Like, I was just getting pushed through this tunnel. And I kind of liked it. I was super, like, relaxed and kind of felt good. And I was super confused at what was happening, because I could, like, barely hear things outside of me. And I just had no idea. I felt like I was in what's in between heaven and hell. What's that called? Like I don't know. Anyways, it felt like I was not on planet Earth.
Yeah.
But I came back too, just butt naked, in a gown and in, like, a great mood. And I was like, wow, that was it's like a psychedelic experience.
Oh yeah,
for sure.
I mean, I think ketamine is a psychedelic.
It is. I mean,
it sounds like it.
You can see why people use it as a party drug. For fun, definitely.
And so you, at that point that you came to naked in a gown, you knew what happened? Or did it take you a second to, like, put together the pieces of, like, oh yeah?
I did know what happened when I came back to, but during the ketamine state coming back to, I had no idea that I'd broken my leg or anything.
Yeah.
That was the craziest time, but it put me in a good mood, at least.
Yeah, and I was talking to you at the hospital, and that part that you said you don't remember, you were out when they, like, took off your boots and pants and stuff, but Dan was with you, and he said that you were like fully conscious and screaming while they were taking off your pants and your boot and stuff, and like
no what?
Yeah, and you like told them how to like take the boot off, but apparently you have no recollection of that, which is crazy to me.
To be honest, I forgot about that till now. We're talking about it right now.
Wow,
so
nice.
Wow.
Yeah, that's wild.
Well, it makes sense. BOA boots and a broken leg.
Yeah. Ooh.
Doesn't seem easy.
No. Snowboard boots are the worst thing to break your leg in.
Yeah, I bet. Seriously are.
And then how long were you in the hospital?
I actually stayed for, I think, 3 nights. Maybe 2 nights.
Mm-hmm.
I think 3 nights. And that was mostly because I live on the 3rd story of an apartment complex with no elevator. So I would have to make my way up,
yikes,
a lot of stairs.
Did you come straight here after?
Yeah.
Damn. So that must have been rough.
Yeah, getting up the stairs for the first time was.
But before that, you, like the next day, the following day after you broke your leg, they had you putting weight on it, right?
Yeah.
That's crazy. I didn't do that.
Yeah, my doctor was a hard ass or something.
Yeah.
But he's like, yeah, I want you weight bearing today. I was like, really, dude? Like, you just put a metal rod and 6 screws in my leg yesterday. Like, but they sent in these 2 like hard ass like nurse physical therapy ladies, and they like had no sympathy for me. They're like, get up, get out of bed, we're doing this.
Damn.
And I actually ended up having some sort of panic attack.
Oh, I can imagine, dude. I would.
And like, I can't even explain it to this day of what it felt like, but it was like unexplainable. I couldn't breathe at all. And like, I got into a walker, and they're like telling me to take these steps and that I can do it. And it must have been a mental thing, but in my head, I knew I could do it, but I just couldn't breathe. Like, started crying. It was the craziest shit.
Dude, even just like imagining that, like imagining when I was in the hospital the next day and like thinking about getting up on a walker and like trying to put weight on it, it makes my stomach drop. I'm like, it would probably make me cry too. Like, it just the weird, it's kind of like what I was saying after I broke it and I was in that weird state. There's like all these like underlying emotions and like almost primal energies that can come up that like.
Yeah. I feel like you don't even understand it.
Yeah.
You don't know where it's coming from.
Yeah. That's wild.
But it was pretty funny. There was actually, I think the second day I was in there, I looked out my hospital room window, and there was actually 2 skiers hitting this like parking garage, like literally 100 feet away, the parking garage for the hospital.
Sick.
In the middle of the day. And that was like pretty funny, like 45 minutes of watching them jump off this thing. So
did they get it?
Yeah.
Sick.
I don't know who it was, or actually I like posted a clip on my story.
No way.
And the skier hit me up and was like, yo, that's me, can you send me that, please? Like,
wow, that is crazy.
But that was pretty funny. But
yeah,
my roommate in the hospital was like this homeless dude. It's just pretty entertaining too. So at least
he was chatting you up.
No, he was not chatting me up, but entertaining in a way where you heard him talking. You're like, whoa,
okay.
He might be in a worse place than I am right now. So
yeah, I felt like that about the dude who was next to me. He just all night. I didn't sleep the first 2 nights very much because he would just all night. He'd be like, oh,
no way,
like just in so much pain, and I'm just like, damn. I'm kind of bummed that I'm next to this dude, but also I feel really bad for that guy. I don't know what's going on, but he is not having a good time. And the nurses were like apologizing to me. They're like, "Oh, we would put you in another room if we had more space. I'm so sorry about him." Like, I'm just like, whatever. Like, he's obviously having a hard time. Like, I understand,
dude. Wow.
But yeah,
the hospitals.
Yeah, it's a
dude. Sidetrack. Did you ever watch a video of your surgery of the IM nail?
Nope.
Like, obviously not our surgery, but
no, I haven't, and I don't know if I can still. That stuff kind of freaks me out, man. Have you watched it?
Yeah. My doctor told me, he's like, dude, if you're not scared, you can YouTube.
I should
look up this surgery procedure and see how it's done, because I was confused. It's like, how'd you put a rod in my leg with these somewhat small incisions? And I watched it and actually felt better about why my leg was hurting.
Oh, really?
Because they're not gentle, they like, I don't know about you, but they made an incision in my quad, like 4 or 5 inches, and then inserted the rod through my kneecap, underneath my kneecap, in this little hole in my knee. And
like your incision was above your kneecap.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. That's not.
I noticed
mine was below my kneecap.
Same with everyone. Riley Nickerson's was below his kneecap too. I don't know if mine was different because my break was higher up.
Yeah, probably.
But
probably
they basically take this rod and a hammer and no remorse. They're like, it's like
just smashing it in there.
Yeah, like not lightly.
Damn.
So
that makes me. Feel better. I've been considering getting the rod out.
Really?
But and I should just man up and watch the surgery so I understand like what I actually went through and what I'm up against. But hearing that, it kind of makes me.
I don't know how they would take it out, to be honest.
Yeah.
It must be.
I mean, I wanna look into it, but that.
Does your rod still bother you in your leg?
No, the screws bother me a little bit. I'm for sure getting the screws out this summer.
Sure.
And I just it's a crazy way to think, but I think that if I ever get myself in the same situation and I have a rod in my leg, basically the doctor was like, that's kind of the end of your leg. Like you basically have to chip away your bone. Like if the rod bends inside your bone, they basically have to chip away your bone. It's like a massive surgery so I'm just like, because if I'm going to keep street snowboarding, it's possible, although I'm way more aware now and I avoid spots that there's any chance for the most part. It's the reality of what we do. And I just, I would prefer to have it out. I don't know how feasible it is, but I'm looking into it. So.
Yeah, that'd be terrible to do the same thing.
Yeah, because the doctor was basically like, oh, there's no need to get it out. Like, why? We'll just take the screws out. A lot of people they'll just have it in for their whole life. And I'm like, yeah, but like, this is what I do. And there's definitely a real chance that the same thing could happen again. So what would happen if I did that again? And he's like, oh yeah, well, we'd basically have to go in where it bent, chip away your bone and take it out from either side in there. And like, I don't know how they would put your bone back together after that, but
that's so gnarly.
So yeah, that's fun to think about.
Shit. Yeah. At least hope to get the screws out, like you're saying.
You'll get the screws out. That's standard. If you get out all of them except one, I guess Johnny O'Connor was telling me that once he did that, he's like, he feels 100% like exactly how he felt before.
That's awesome to hear.
Yeah, like no pain at all. I don't know if you get like a little bit of discomfort where your screws are and stuff.
A little bit for sure on my knee. For some reason, they put 4 screws in my knee instead of normal 2.
I mean, that's probably also because of how high you broke it. You broke
very
it
true.
Pretty damn high.
But yeah, that was.
Yeah, and so then I want to get into the whole recovery process and everything. But one more thing, how the hell did you get up the stairs after what, like 4 days after your surgery?
Dude, yeah.
3 flights of stairs? That's crazy.
Yeah, three full flights. I basically just had to take 2 crutches, and I think I took like 2 oxycodones and a Valium.
It's like getting prepared.
Getting ready, and I just like kind of bossed it up the stairs. But it definitely probably took like 30 minutes.
Oh, I
was super pissed. It sucked.
Yeah.
Because, to even lift your leg at that point just is so painful.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
At all. I mean, to not have it laid up on.
To be anywhere where you're not just like laying down. Yeah. It's not fun.
Yeah. That was
for me heavy. It was like for that first week or so, every time I would like move from being, and I'd do it a couple times a day just to encourage blood flow, but you move from laying down to like standing, and just the blood flow back to your leg was just like,
immediately within 10 seconds you're like, no, that does not feel good. Yeah, any blood down there was a mess.
Yeah. So that was a pretty rough week.
Yeah, that was definitely a rough week for sure. And somehow ended up still getting even crazier when I think 2 days after I'd gotten back from the hospital, my girlfriend leaves for work in the morning, and she comes back up like 15 minutes later, 10 minutes later, like, you're not going to believe this, but your car is not outside. Like, it's gone. It's fully gone. And at that point,
I remember you had that on Instagram. Like that your car, it got stolen, right?
Fully stolen right out in front of my apartment complex, which is in like not in a bad part of town by any means.
And were your keys in the car?
I actually had a set of spare keys in the center console.
Oh shit.
And I have one door that doesn't lock unless you manually lock it.
Oh man.
And my mom actually drove my car back from Duluth where I'd gotten hurt, so obviously she wouldn't know to lock that door. And I'd unlocked it right before I broke my leg, actually, to get something out of my car. So she would have no idea. So God. Someone was probably checking doors.
Yeah.
Found that door was open, center console, boom, set of spare keys. So I mean, I was asking for it in a way, but
I mean, you like, you know, you're not thinking about that when your leg is broken. Like,
no. Like, by the way, lock that door.
Yeah.
No way. Like, but yeah, immediately just.
Jeez, I can't believe that.
It was almost funny, you know.
You're just like, oh, of course this happens right now.
Yeah, like I honestly wasn't even mad. I was like, my leg's already broken. Like, my car might as well be missing too, you know. Like,
I guess if there's a time that works for your car to be gone, that was kind of it.
Dude, for sure. If that would happen now, I'd probably be pissed. But back then, I was like, you know, it happens. But so I called the cops right away. Mm-hmm. They came over to my apartment, which is pretty funny because I'm like high on painkillers in my bed. You know, I'm like freshly back from the hospital. It's been maybe, I think it was 1 or 2 nights.
I bet they couldn't believe it either. Like they were probably like, oh, this is strange.
It was funny. They were like straight from super bad. They were like pacing around my apartment being like, oh, nice poster, dude. Like, you're into snowboarding. Like,
oh my God.
You could tell that they didn't want to get back on the job.
Yeah.
And yeah, they like, I was surprised. I thought they'd be like, yeah, we'll like keep an eye out for it. Like, we'll let you know, like hopefully it should show up within the next week. And they're like, well, you know, if usually someone will call it in if it's parked on the side of the road for too long, or a tow service will call or something like that. And they're basically like, well, if it shows up, we'll call you. And we're like, oh, okay. Like, sure.
That's kind of it.
Yeah, sure enough. Ended up coming 6 weeks later, found it.
Oh my gosh. Where did it end up? Who called it in, or where was it?
It was actually under a mile away from the house. And I woke up at like 8 a.m. to a phone call from somebody being like, hey, Brady, we need to plow the back of your apartment complex. Like, the snow plows are coming. I'm like, what are you talking about? I don't have like we need you to move your car. Like, we're plowing the driveway. We're plowing the parking lot. I'm like, first off, we don't have a parking lot in the back of our apartment complex, and my car has been missing for 6 weeks. He's like, really? Like, license plate, like whatever my license plate is. I'm like, dude, that's my car.
No way.
That's been stolen for 6 weeks. They're missing. He's like, no way, dude. And the only reason that he called and had my number and info for my car, you know, which is kind of weird, was that I'd applied to the same apartment complex.
No way.
Earlier this fall, and actually got shut down.
Wow.
And since I was still in the system from being an applicant, they had like my license plate info and my phone number. So we actually thought I was living in the...
That is crazy.
In the building, so...
That's very lucky, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it was just covered in snow, and it was funny. I was to the point where I was going around to junkyards and like sketchy auto body shops, which are just like 2 miles down the street from me, and like looking in their yard to see if my car was there. And luckily, that showed up. But
and nothing was wrong. It was just as it was. As
it was, and half-eaten box of cereal. And that was about it.
Wow.
And it was dead, but I mean, charged it up and it was going. But I mean, going back to that week where it first started missing, you know, before I even called the cops, after I'd called the cops, I'd called my mom to be like, you're not going to believe this, but my car is gone. And before I could even tell her that, she's like, yeah, I'm in the hospital with your dad right now, and he has a tumor in his brain, which was super heavy to hear. So it was like, you know, 3 things like that within, you know, all within a week of me breaking my leg, starting with that.
That's horrible. What was the tumor?
It was like a golf ball sized tumor in his brain. He just felt off, and basically went to the ER room, and his face was drooping, which was a sign of a brain tumor. And yeah, they immediately did a CAT scan and had to go in for brain surgery that day.
Oh my God, that is
horrible.
Pretty
heavy week for my whole entire family.
Jeez. And what was the diagnosis? Was it just a...
Yeah. I mean, at the time, I didn't really know if it was going to be cancerous or not. My family didn't know. So they did the surgery, and then a week later found out that it was cancerous. And, he's dealing with that right now. And turns out that it's a pretty serious brain cancer. So that's been another
I'm so sorry, dude.
setback, but we're staying positive.
Yeah.
And luckily, I'm back in Minnesota where my family is too. So kind of worked out well.
Jeez, that must have been a rough week on your mom too, huh?
Yeah, very, very rough week. I mean, all of a sudden, me breaking my leg didn't seem so big anymore.
Yeah,
that was.
Oh, I bet that's really serious.
That was minuscule compared to everything else going on.
Man.
So they say bad things happen in threes.
Yeah.
Which is crazy, but yeah, I guess they do.
Yeah, I mean, and he's doing, like, the recovery process is happening. He's doing somewhat okay right now, or?
Yeah, he is doing okay for the circumstance.
Yeah.
Being as serious as it is, he's doing well for sure, and positive, and just finished his first round of chemo, and him and my mom and dad are going on a trip to Spain in about 2 weeks. So
wow, nice.
They're pretty hyped.
That's awesome.
To get out and forget
Live
about
life.
it for a little bit.
Yeah. Well, I wish him luck and wish your family good fortune.
Thanks, man.
Yeah, that's really, really shitty, to say the least.
Yeah.
When I broke my leg, actually 2 days before, one of our cats ran away.
No.
Never came back. And
terrible.
And I won't go into detail, but my girlfriend Ashley Dawn, her mom was having a really rough time, medical stuff, really bad as well, and so she was in super rough shape, and that was also kind of like happened in threes. And at that time, it was winter, and I couldn't come home for like a month. Or I didn't come home for like a month because she was working like 12-hour days, and so she couldn't take care of me. So I actually went to my parents' house for that first month. And so I break my leg, cat runs away, which we absolutely love our cats, and her mom is having an extremely hard time, and she's home alone for a month. Like, so it's just bad things tend to kind of happen all together sometimes.
When it rains, it pours.
Yeah. So.
Man, sorry to hear that as well.
Oh, I mean, we're all doing fine now, and
it might as well all happen at once. So
get it over with.
Way, I guess.
Kinda.
There's no other way to look at it if it's already happening. So.
Yeah. Jeez. Well, once again, I hope the best for you guys.
Thanks.
Jeez. So then the recovery. Let's start with supplements. What were you taking?
I mean, I kind of just did some research on bone growth and asked around to you and to other people with the same injury, and just did some research online and started taking, calcium supplement, B6, some vitamin D3, a lot of vitamin K, a bone supplement, and also started taking bone broth, collagen. And
nice.
Yeah, that was kind of my itinerary. I would basically eat a handful of pills every morning.
Nice.
And kind of still am now, almost 3 months later.
Yeah. What are you still taking all of that stuff? Probably not the bone growth one anymore.
I actually am still taking it. It's the bone up pill that's right over there. But
oh, nice.
Yeah, I still take it all.
Yeah,
I might as well.
Might as well tell you're all the way there. Yeah.
Yeah, and I noticed just recently with the bone broth collagen, it's like, I think you were the one that told me about bone broth.
Yeah. Oh, well, I did. I'm sure maybe other people did too, but I recommended it to you.
Yeah, and I'd like to think that helps out. It's pretty weird, but it's also like a kind of a health fad right now too.
Yep, it's very popular right now. It's just like a really good. I don't know exactly, but I know that it's a big topic. Collagen and bone broth are both big topics in the like health and nutrition conversation right now. So. Especially for healing injuries. It's just there's a lot of nutrients in there.
Because I noticed, dude, just like 2 days ago, I think I've been drinking bone broth every day for like 2 months. And I don't know what it was, but I noticed that my hair is like getting thicker than it's ever been.
The collagen
before. And I looked up one of the benefits of bone broth collagen.
Yeah.
And that was a major one, was hair growth and getting thicker hair. And it's like pretty funny how, I guess after 2 months straight of drinking it, it really
collagen
does do something.
I mean, I'm sure so it's a bone broth collagen, like it has those together.
Yeah, bone broth and collagen together.
Nice. Because I'm pretty sure that would be from the collagen, because collagen is what it grows healthy hair, skin, and nails. And so, there's like collagen protein bars, and there's collagen powder, and like all this, like the bulletproof radio and those bulletproof products. It's like he's all about collagen, and he recommends it to people for hair growth and things like that. So it makes sense. It's just like one of those things that your body uses well to just like grow things, and so as well as growing bones, I'm sure. Let's hope I hope it's growing. Should be. So but that's awesome that you actually noticed the difference with your hair.
It's pretty.
I'm starting to get a little bit thin up there, and so maybe I should try to find some collagen.
Maybe get on it.
The things I've been kind of eating more vegan again, and actually I have been eating vegan again, and there's obviously no vegan collagen because it comes from animals. So, but I don't know.
Might have
I don't want
to
to lose my hair.
That's a good one.
But what was your diet like? A lot of protein, probably.
A lot of protein. I did some research as well and saw there was like multiple websites that just said you want to eat almost like 100 grams of protein a day.
Yeah.
On top of that, be eating like, I don't know, still to this day, it said that, I don't know how right these websites are, but it was saying that you're supposed to eat 6,000 calories a day for some like a big bone break like this, which kind of seems outrageous.
Yeah, it's a lot. But you're supposed to eat crazy amount. Like your body takes so much energy to be able to recover something like that. My nutritionist was actually recommending that I eat my body weight in grams of protein. So I was aiming for like 160 grams of protein a day. Or 170. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Dude. Which was kind of hard. Like it was a lot. I was eating, 4 eggs for breakfast, half a pound of chicken for lunch, and half a pound of fish for dinner every day. Like
pile it in.
Yeah.
It's expensive.
It's expensive. But I mean, it's worth it because you gotta.
Obviously is. Yeah.
Better than having a broken leg.
No, for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know what happened, but I feel like my palate almost changed after I broke my leg. It was the weirdest thing.
Yeah, your body knows what it needs, kind of.
And I mean, even to the point where like I would wake up every day and usually would eat like eggs and toast and a lot of sriracha, like hot sauce. And for some reason, after I broke my leg for the first month, I wanted nothing to do with hot sauce.
Oh, really?
Nothing to do with eggs, nothing to do with toast.
Huh.
Which is, I don't know. It's
strange. So what were you having for breakfast usually?
Just like yogurt bowls, like Greek yogurt, which is obviously full of protein.
Yeah, it's got a good amount of protein.
Would do that with granola and a lot of fruit and honey, and totally ditched coffee and pretty much would just eat
coffee and alcohol. I'm sure, right?
Yeah, and alcohol too.
Yeah, because those things, I read up a bunch when I broke my leg as well, and I saw that kind of across the board that like caffeine and alcohol just aren't good for regrowth of something like that, a traumatic injury.
Also glad I'm not like a super heavy cig smoker too.
Oh yeah, that too, for sure.
Because I guess that's the
one.
number one worst thing you can do for bone growth. And even in the first place, if you're a heavy smoker and you break a bone, it's going to take you maybe twice as long to regrow. So glad I wasn't on that program.
Yeah. And then were you eating a lot of chicken, a lot of beef, fish, just everything?
A lot of chicken, a lot of fish. And a lot of red meat too.
Yeah.
Pretty much would just eat as much as I could, but it was kind of hard, because you're not doing anything. So you're not that hungry in the first place. And
I remember almost every time I would sit down to eat, I would be like, well, I'm not hungry, but I have to eat.
Regardless.
Yeah. And then how long was it before you were kind of off crutches? I know you're still on a a walking stick right now on a cane, but you can take some steps without it. Like how far out are we now? It's almost April.
Because April 5th would technically be 3 months from January 5th.
You're pretty much sitting kind of where I was. I was like walking without crutches somewhere around 3 months, like maybe a little bit after that. So I'm pretty sure you're in the same spot I was at.
Yeah, it took way longer than I thought it was going to take, obviously.
I know. Especially, I mean, I don't know if the doctor told you. The doctor told me, like, oh, yeah, you'll probably be walking in a month. Yeah. I was like, oh, sweet. And a month came and I was like, I am definitely not walking yet. Like, I can't. There's no way. You know? Dude, I don't know if they told you that.
My doctor told me I'd be snowboarding in April.
That's ridiculous.
Like, got my hopes up, obviously, back then. And maybe.
I wonder if they tell you that just so you're like, really, you get in the mindset of like, oh yeah, I'm like healing. I'm going to be good in a couple months.
Yeah, that's true. Instead of.
Or maybe they just don't understand how physically demanding what we do is.
Yeah, that's true.
Could be.
I mean, I maybe think that I could strap in and make it down a hill at the end of this month for sure. So
yeah, that's good.
In terms of snowboarding, who knows? But I think, the first like 2 months were pretty heavy on the crutches. Mm-hmm. And I think I switched to one. It's kind of hard to say. I probably switched to one crutch probably 2 months in. Maybe sooner, probably a month and a half I was on one crutch. Mm-hmm. And did one crutch for probably 2 or 3 weeks, switched to a cane, and now I'm probably on week 3 of a cane.
Okay.
And I'd like to think that a little after the 3-month mark, I won't need a cane anymore.
Are you being pretty proactive about trying to do a certain amount of steps without the cane? Or are you kind of working towards that, or are you just kind of waiting until it like feels like you're ready?
I mean, around my apartment, I won't use a cane at all. Yeah. I'll just walk and I can kind of tell and feel it out. But yeah. I guess I'm not trying to not use my cane, but at the same time, I kind of feel like I'm sandbagging it in a way sometimes. But I'm not scared to, like yesterday, I went to IKEA and walked like 3.5 miles,
Oh, like, really? Damn.
So stuff like that, where it's like, or go to the Mall of America and walk a lot, and it's not bad. Mm-hmm. But I'd like to think in a week, honestly, a week, I don't think I'll be on a cane anymore. So
nice.
But that's 3 months out from the injury. So
yeah. And did you use any rubs or anything like that, or anything topically throughout your process?
Yeah, I used THC and CBD oil, and kind of used this thing called a pain stick that my friend out in California works for a company called Absolute Extracts. Mm-hmm. And he sent me out a little care package of THC, CBD related stuff, and one of them was a pain stick, and it was like a deodorant stick, literally deodorant. And it was just all full of THC and CBD together. Mm-hmm. And I would rub that on my whole entire leg. And this is back when, I'm still a month out and it's throbbing all the time. And you would put that on and it would instantly calm down.
Oh, that's nice.
It's pretty wild how fast acting that was. And I'd also use arnica oil, you know, just arnica pretty much. And that's about it.
Nice. And then did you get any body work or anything like massage or acupuncture? Or, I mean, obviously you did physical therapy, right?
Yep.
Anything else?
No, I mean, nothing like acupuncture, massage. Mm-hmm. I guess some sort of massage at my physical therapy place.
Physical therapist.
They would use a scraper, and that was pretty terrible.
Yeah.
For sure, but
I know. Especially, did they go like right over the screws for you, and just like?
No.
Mine would do that, and it was the worst.
That's rough.
Yeah.
No, luckily not for me, but it was like no massage or anything. But I actually I have a vibrating foam roller.
Ooh.
And that's kind of been pretty big. Yeah. From the start, to just like loosen up my leg for sure. Mm-hmm. Because it takes so long to get the mobility back, and I think that helped out a lot, just shaking up the muscle and the blood, and that was probably my form of massage.
Yeah, that's awesome. And what kind of exercises were you doing for physical therapy, and are you still doing any?
I mean, at first it was like doing, super mellow stuff on the floor where you're just trying to get your leg flat, and doing exercises where you're just trying to flex your quadricep, because you literally lose everything. I'm sure you're in the same position.
Oh yeah, all of a sudden your leg is like half the size it used to be.
The size of a Pringles can.
So crazy. I remember once I could fit I have pretty big quads, and once I could fit my hands fully around my quad, I was like, whoa, this is kind of scary.
Wow,
I don't know if you ever got to that point, but mine got real small.
Yeah, it's funny how fast your muscle deteriorates if you don't use it. Yeah. And how long it takes to get it back. Mm-hmm. But I mean, at first it was such minuscule exercises, you know, starting from basically scratch. You know, you try to flex your quad and nothing would go. And that was pretty sad at first, you know. But luckily now I've moved on to doing Bosu ball activities and squatting and doing a lot of like leg press and just a lot of machines at the gym, really.
Nice.
So,
and how often are you going to the gym?
Probably 6 times a week.
6 times. Damn, that's awesome. That's great.
I mean,
I guess that's kind of like that's what you're doing right now, right? That's
yeah.
It's a full-time job healing from something like that.
No, it's very true. Yeah. Probably have never worked so hard on a single-handed thing in my life, or like put so much time into one thing. Yeah. You know, so I figure if I go for 2 hours a day, that's the least I can do to help out my body. So
absolutely. Yeah. And had you gotten interested in working out at all before that, or before this whole process? A
little bit. Yeah. I mean, not too serious though. You know, I'd get a gym membership in like October and November, you know, maybe September.
Just kind of get ready for the season kind of stuff.
Exactly. Kind of a seasonal gym guy, and kind of would go in lightly on the bike, you know, but looking back, I don't think I was going as hard as I should have been back then compared to now even. So.
And so do you mind going into the specifics of some of the exercises you were doing?
I was doing back before the season started, or
no? I mean, like now rehabbing. I mean, you said at the beginning you were doing really basic stuff, but then what are some other things you started getting into as the recovery process went on?
For rehab, you know, after meeting with my physical therapist guy, after a certain amount of times, I started to pick up a nice routine that involved more band work, which was good. You know, it's funny how much, you know, just the bands you can create a whole entire workout regimen on bands. And I think that's been really helpful for me.
Yeah, I've been actually working on getting a workout regime figured out where I just need one like set of bands and I can travel with it, throw it in my bag, and it's been working out pretty well. But yeah, there's a lot of things you can do with it.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, just for the legs especially, it's almost all you need in a way. But you know, doing the band work, and then
so
also
like what you would wrap a band around your leg and around something else, and like what were you doing with your leg?
I have this one, you know, for the quadricep where I'd wrap the band around something else and I'd put it behind my knee, and I would bend my knee and then straighten it back and flex my quadricep. And that was, if that makes sense.
So it's like the resistance comes from when you're straightening it back out.
Exactly.
And you're like holding it on your quad, and
exactly. It's right behind your knee. So you're tightening up when you bend your leg straight. So when it's loose, there's no slack, and you pull it tight. So it's super. The band is tight. You're tight, and it definitely works out your quadricep. And that was huge for the start of my recovery process, where I didn't really have a quad, and it just needed to be a low resistance sort of workout, and that was great. And also putting a band around your ankles and sidestepping.
Yep, I did that.
That's been kind of new because I can weight bear that.
Yeah.
Now, and you know, you can do this one called the monster crawl, where you kind of offset. You widen your legs out, and you walk left foot, right foot, right foot, and that kind of gets your hip abductors pretty good.
Cool.
Weirdly really annoying, like works really well.
Yeah, those little muscles in your hips, they get fired up pretty quick when you're doing stuff like that.
Yeah, which is good for snowboarding, obviously. That's what you're using a lot. I mean, the leg press has been big for me, just doing the single leg press with my left leg. Obviously my broken leg, you know, I've put in a lot of hours on that thing at the gym. And
have you seen your weight go up pretty quick?
Yeah, it's
awesome.
Cool seeing that. That's obviously pretty inspirational to get the weight up. Keeps you coming back for more.
Yeah, for sure. It's kind of the best part about it. You like can see your progress very clearly.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, at first it was like 15 pounds, and it gets to 30, and I think just 2 days ago I was up to 80 pounds with my broken leg. So.
Damn. Getting there. How many reps are you doing?
Usually 12.
Okay. Like 3 sets of 12 or just 12 and then
3 sets of 12.
Okay, got it. Cool.
Actually at physical therapy, I luckily have a pretty young dude who's open to some new ideas, and he actually got me on this process called the Owens recovery system. Have you heard of that at all?
I've not heard of that.
And it's pretty wild. It's where they actually tourniquet your leg. So you put this compression sleeve all the way up to the very top of your leg, as high as your quadricep goes.
Mm-hmm.
And they put this contractive device on your leg and basically cut off all circulation to your leg.
Yep.
And then you do the leg press with that one leg. And
then
supposedly,
you do less reps and you get more benefit.
No, yeah, probably something like that. But he kind of explained it to me as there's two types of fibers in your muscles. One of them requires oxygen. One of them doesn't require oxygen. And the one that doesn't require oxygen is like more muscle building. So when they cut off the oxygen to your leg, that other muscle fiber is the only one that's allowed to work, which is your main, like, builds up your muscle the fastest. So, and that, I mean, it's terrible. It hurts so bad.
Yeah. I've actually heard of that, not that specifically, not by that name and not even described in that manner, but it's like it's called katsu. It's like a traditional Japanese way of resistance training where you cut off circulation. You can do it in your arms, legs, and you do resistance training with your circulation cut off, and it fatigues your muscle a lot quicker because it doesn't have at least this is what I've read up on, it doesn't have the blood to be able to give you all the strength that you need. And so you basically reach muscle failure a lot quicker, and your body sends out these muscle building hormones, and so because your muscles basically think that you're totally maxing out, but it's kind of like tricking your biology, and so it sends these hormones to build your muscles, and you've done a lot less reps, and so it's like a more efficient way of working out.
I think that's the exact same thing. Yeah, to be honest. I might have explained it.
No, I mean, it could be that like they're figuring out more things about it, or maybe that's just like a slightly different approach, but it's definitely something that apparently they do it in Japan they've been doing it for a long time, for Olympic athletes and stuff like that. I think it's been I don't know if it's been like a secret there, but it definitely was used in Japan for a long time before it started seeping. And just recently it's starting to seep into Western culture. And now you'll see like resistance programs and you can buy those things that you cut off resistance to your arms and things like that. I don't remember. The Owens recovery system. That's what you said it's called. Yep. Yeah. So
I'm sure it's based off that.
It's the same kind of thing. I think there's a lot of hype around that right now. So that's cool that you got to experience that. I've actually never tried it before. It sounds like it would be really weird to have your circulation totally cut off and then you're like, oh, it just almost seems uncomfortable.
Yeah, it's super, super uncomfortable. It's definitely not fun. Yeah. They put me on a timer for 7 minutes straight. So I'll like leg press for 7 minutes straight.
Oh, wow.
With very low weight. So it's got to be just adding on to what, same exact thing. But yeah, it's terrible. As soon as like 2 minutes come in.
Oh,
you just can't wait till that tourniquet comes off. Like you're fucking so hurting.
And then what does it feel like when it does come off?
Great.
Just whoosh, all the blood.
Blood comes back in. You're like relieved. Yeah. It's crazy how.
Interesting.
But I'd like to think it worked. I did it twice a week for.
They've done studies on it, and it's like overwhelmingly it works to build muscle quicker than standard resistance training.
It's wild for sure. But I guess they were trying to tell me it based off this Owens one at least, which it's got to be the exact same thing you're talking about.
At least in the same general,
Yeah, but it based around this guy that broke his leg. Probably similar to what we did, but before they would put metal rods in, they would put casts on. So this guy had a metal cast, or this guy had a cast all the way up to his thigh. And I guess he would when he had this cast on, he would tourniquet his leg and just flex his leg so that he wouldn't lose muscle mass in the cast.
Yeah.
And when the doctors took off the cast, they were amazed at how he hadn't lost much definition.
Wow.
In his quad, as opposed to like usually it's just completely gone.
Yeah.
And supposedly that's what, at least this recovery system
makes me wonder if he found out about Katsu and was like, oh, I wonder if I can use this to like,
I'm sure,
do this with my leg. And then he's like, oh, this is a great way to recover. Because I mean, Katsu is in the realm of just like getting stronger. It's not a recovery system.
Sure.
So it's probably just that reformed. So that's really cool though.
Yeah.
Are you still doing that, or that was kind of early?
I actually did it last Friday.
Oh,
still.
nice.
So I'm still doing it, and they just keep increasing the weight.
Cool.
So
cool.
Hopefully it works.
Yeah.
I think it is.
Yeah. Nice. And so how the hell did you get through all this without getting depressed?
Oh, man, I had some days for sure. Where it's dark times. But luckily not too bad. I think the fact that I luckily have my own apartment now and that I live with my girlfriend has been a huge help.
Good company.
Like, just pretty much getting taken care of for, the first 2 weeks were pretty crazy. You know?
There is something kind of nice about like somebody making you food all the time and just you don't have to worry at all. All you do is just lay around.
For sure.
I mean, it sucks, but it's kind of like, I'm hungry. Okay, here you go.
Yeah, for real. Where you literally, I couldn't get up and make anything. You know? It was like every meal handed to me. Yeah. I would brush my teeth on the couch. You know? Everything was just. So yeah, I guess.
Who took your pee bucket?
Oh.
Did you have a pee bucket?
Oh yeah, I had 2 pee jugs that I would constantly fill up. Yep. And yeah, those would get dumped on the regular. I think I kind of used them for maybe too long. Yeah. Because they're so convenient. So convenient. Yeah. I would keep them by my bed, and in the middle of the night having to crutch to the bathroom, I would just, pee laying down in bed.
Yeah, it's a lot easier.
Way easier. I actually have mine filled up with flowers in our bathroom right now. If you haven't seen it.
I'll look in there next time I use the bathroom.
Little momentum, or little
memorial. For,
what I've been through. But basically, I just somehow it kind of flew by, to be honest, and I just tried to keep.
And you watched all of Breaking Bad.
I did. That was the show. Yeah, that was the main show.
That's awesome.
It's like 5 seasons.
Yeah.
It was 6 seasons, but I'd seen 1 season a long time ago, so I skipped. But that's God, looking back, that's a lot of episodes. Yeah. But
I mean, it gets you through though, and I honestly wish I jumped in. It was a couple weeks in when I heard that somebody told me I should watch Breaking Bad, and then I heard it was the best show ever. But then at that time I was kind of already over watching so much TV that I was like, man, if I jump into this right now, I'm going to be so sucked in. But I'm still kind of I want to watch it, but that's a commitment
too.
No, yeah.
You can slowly make your way through it. True. Unlike me, who had a lot of time on my hands.
Yeah.
But also Tommy Gesme dropped off his Xbox, which was pretty cool. And I didn't have a DVD player so that was a huge help too. And played Skate 3 quite a lot, and some Call of Duty.
Nice.
Was able to watch snowboard videos and luckily with phones and FaceTime and Instagram and you can just I was talk to a lot of friends and kind of stayed busy throughout the day. Would read. Honestly, looking back on it, the days just breezed by.
Yeah. What were you reading?
I read this recently. Finished this David Sedaris book. Have you heard of that guy?
No, I haven't.
It's kind of like a humor, short stories based on his life.
Oh, cool.
But pretty funny dude, super easy to read. Nice. Kept things lighthearted. Yeah. And, I also finished this Richard Branson documentary, or Richard Branson autobiography. Okay. The guy that started Virgin Mobile.
Oh, really? Okay.
And super random. I forget. A buddy gave it to me, but that was 600 pages. Huh. So that took up a lot of my time, and not like I'm super into music or.
Did he also make Virgin Airlines?
Yep.
Yeah. Okay. I've listened to a podcast about this guy.
He's crazy. Yeah. He branched off into some wild shit. Started with music, went to an airline, went to he's just.
Yeah. That's
did
crazy.
Real estate. You know, he's
all over the board.
All over, but it's pretty cool just to see that you can kind of do anything you want. If you just go for it.
Yeah.
Put
absolutely.
everything you've got into it.
That's awesome.
So, yeah, I don't know. Luckily, Matt Guff gave me some books recently too. So I've been clocking away at those.
Yeah, he's always got some good recommendations for stuff like that.
He does.
I'm sure he maybe recommended some positivity, people. He's all about that. Oh, and for the listeners, Matt Guff, he is he's a marketing guy at the House Sports Shop that Brady and I both ride for, and he's the TM. He's a good dude.
Great dude. He got me on this Tao sports book. Have you read that one? It's
no, I haven't.
Kind of like Tao Sports, basically. And I actually just finished that, and that was pretty good.
Cool.
As well, kind of a sports psychology type book. And it's a good switch up from what I've been reading before. And
got you inspired?
Hopefully it will help me not to break my leg in the future and maybe be more focused.
What did it kind of go into detail about? I mean, is it just like getting in the moment and...
Yeah, kind of a lot of stuff like that. Getting in the moment, being prepared, visualization, affirmations.
Cool.
And it was cool because it gave a lot of real life examples too. It wasn't all just like, stuff like that. It gave a lot of like about certain golf players, tennis players, baseball, basketball, all these certain dudes that had these rituals that helped them succeed. So it was interesting in that way too.
Cool. And have you done any visualization since you've been injured? Or kind of like...
Somewhat, I guess.
Yeah.
I mean, probably without even trying. If you think about, you're thinking about snowboarding.
Start daydreaming.
Exactly. You start daydreaming. I mean, I even have dreams of snowboarding, where it's like technically that's visualization.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Like I think maybe for other sports you might have to visualize, but for snowboarding, I feel like you naturally kind of do it.
Yeah. When you're thinking about it,
you're playing it in your head no matter what. So
yeah,
it's pretty cool for that.
Are you excited to get back?
Very. Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I didn't really feel like I was missing out too much until springtime came around, probably like 2 weeks ago, and I see
it's like everybody's having fun and
everyone at the
sun,
resorts,
slushy.
I wasn't like, oh shit, I'm missing out on shoveling so much snow, like jumping down a stair set.
For sure.
But as soon as everyone's riding slushy resorts and having a good time, I'm definitely excited to get back out there. So, but it's getting close, I'm like definitely feel my legs starting to come back finally, which is cool.
I mean, you're looking good and walking on that cane.
Thanks, dude.
Yeah.
Maybe I might be keeping it around for style points.
Yeah. Snowboard
longer than I should. Yeah, maybe I'll take it first downhill. Who knows?
Speaking of first downhill, are you gonna try to go to Mount Hood? Or are you gonna kind of
Yeah, I think so. I mean, the goal at least is I was maybe almost thinking first week at Woodward Tahoe.
Which is
June 2nd.
Okay.
Which would probably be about 5 weeks out. And even if I'm not jumping or
even if you can just take runs.
Exactly. At least get a feel for it and see where I'm at from there at least. And I mean, it's hard to say, that's 2 months away, but yeah, I hope it works out. That's nice. At least the goal for right now. Yeah. Is to kind of do a little summer camp tour and get back on my feet. Yeah. So, I mean, originally when I broke my leg, I thought I'd be like closing weekend at all these resorts out west. So, in a couple of weeks, but there's no way that I can make it down the hill.
You're better off just like giving it until the summer. You don't want to get out there too early.
No, for sure.
You can stress it plenty and like get prepared before that, where, I think that'll be a good time to at least give it a try. For me, it was July. It was mid-July for me, and
smart choice.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. It was painful, but it wasn't unbearable. And it's crazy how like day one you're like, oh man, I don't know. And then day two
I don't
you're
know
like,
if I still got this.
Yeah, day two it's like, okay. And then day three I was like, oh, I actually I'm kind of bored, So I think once you get back on board, it'll feel very like uncomfortable for like the first 2 days, and then your body will start to remember and you'll break up the scar tissue. That's the one thing is like it'll be painful, but the pain is good because you need to let your body know that like, this is what I'm gonna be doing. Like, you better shape up.
I remember seeing you out there. You looked pretty good though, for sure. Like,
it looked better than I felt. That's for sure.
Dude, I remember the beginning of the week you were out there, you're like, dude, I'm not feeling too good. And then by the last day, you were like, nose pressing the down flat down and doing some legit tricks. So it's inspiring to see. It's funny how many people have gone through this. Riley Nickerson too, Finn Westbury, Johnny O'Connor, Alex Sherman. Like, so.
Yeah, the list goes on, dude.
And everyone seems to make a full recovery. So
yeah.
Eventually get back out there.
Yeah, and you learn a lot about yourself and just about life, I feel like.
No,
going
for sure.
through something like this, you get a lot of time to think.
Definitely
and just see your body transform.
Dude, for real. I mean, I feel like snowboarding's almost year-round nowadays, where you only kind of have August, September, October to kind of chill, and it's kind of nice little vacation from snowboarding in a way. Just take some time and slow things down.
Yeah, and then you really can set your intentions going forward. And,
exactly.
You know.
Agreed.
Yeah, good stuff.
Great stuff, dude.
Well, I kind of want to get into what else you got going on in your life. What else you have, like, going forward? You're gonna get back into snowboarding. You're gonna get recovered. Do you have any other plans for the summer or anything? I'm
hoping. Yeah, we have one more DC Transitors trip that I'm supposed to go on, and I'm hoping to feel pretty good by then, and that's to Chile, actually.
Oh, sick.
And that's supposed to be late July or August.
Nice. You'll be good. Like, you'll be, I think you'll be able to make it on that trip.
Get in a little summer warm up. And, be feeling good by then, hopefully.
Yeah.
So, and that's a great trip. I luckily got to go like 3 years ago, and it's pretty wild out there. Everything's above the tree line, and the weather's usually good. And yeah, that's what I'm basically looking forward to, is maybe ride a couple of weeks this summer and keep getting stronger in between and go on that Chile trip. So
nice.
Pretty excited for that.
Oh yeah.
But I just got back from Puerto Rico a couple weeks ago. Took a little breather.
Oh yeah, actually I saw that.
And I was like, I don't think I've ever been anywhere tropical in the winter, and luckily this injury allowed me to go.
Yeah. You living it up out there?
Yeah, oh yeah.
Probably hard to avoid the alcohol.
Yeah, I might have had a couple cocktails.
Yeah. I went to Bulgaria in it might have been April, maybe May. I don't know. It was sometime around,
Didn't you you had a plane ticket there for the Stinky?
Yeah. Yeah. And I was supposed to go there in February, but it broke my leg in January, and so they just rerouted my plane to come out. It might have been late March or April or May, something around that time. But and then
But you were still injured too.
Yeah, I was
awesome.
Yeah. I was off my crutches, so it must have been late April, maybe even in May. But anyways, I went out there, and my leg was still not feeling great. Like, it would get sore every day after just from walking around.
Sure.
And I definitely did not avoid the alcohol. It's hard to when you're on a vacation like that. But at least you give it a couple months in the beginning when it's really important.
Yeah, exactly.
And now I'm sure you're kind of back off it. Yeah.
Yeah, I'll have an occasional beer every now and then. Or...
Did you ever drink non-alcoholic beers?
No.
Oh, really? When I would, every once in a while, I would have cravings just to have something like that.
Yeah.
When it was pretty early on, and I got a couple non-alcoholic beers, and it was a good way to just trick myself into thinking I'm just chilling in the backyard drinking a beer.
Wow, that's
pretty nice.
That's a great idea. Yeah, I actually never. I thought about it at a bar once and then just didn't.
Yeah. Sometimes I'll even do that at a bar when I'm not. When I'm just chilling. If I don't really feel like drinking, or if I have to drive, I'll have one, and then the second or third, or maybe I'll have two, and then the third or whatever will be a non-alcoholic one. I just won't tell anybody. Just
dude,
it's a good way to blend in. Yeah.
You just need something in your hand.
Exactly.
Placebo buzz is real.
For sure.
I was at this party a couple weeks ago, and I think I had 4 LaCroix. Instead of beers, I was just drinking sparkling water.
Nice,
and
nice.
Felt great, hydrated.
Yeah, no, dude, it's awesome. It's crazy what the difference between having nothing in your hand and having something in your hand. You all of a sudden go from being oh, it's kind of I don't really feel like I'm part of this party, to just being oh yeah, I'm drinking a LaCroix, whatever. Fuck.
Yeah. No, it's for real. I noticed that my tolerance is so bad to alcohol right now. I went to happy hour earlier this week and had one beer, and I was wow, I feel great. Off one beer. Yeah. Which is pretty cool in its own way too. Mm-hmm. So, but I was always I had some buddies in town earlier this winter when I was still hurt, maybe 2 months out, and we ended up going out a little bit, and I was so scared of getting pushed over, or someone landed on my leg, or you really can't.
And you were fully on crutches?
I was on one crutch. Yeah.
Okay, got it. Yeah.
But I wasn't drinking, but I was still wow, I probably shouldn't be here. These dudes are wasted. If this guy falls on me or some shit. But
dude, I
got out.
I was I think 2 or 3 weeks in, still fully on both crutches, still actually had, I must have been even less than that because I had, my leg was still wrapped. You know, I would take it off and then I'd wrap it just for the compression. And Max Ronning took me out to have dinner at this vegan restaurant in Minneapolis, Jay Selby's.
Oh, nice.
And there was a bunch of snow outside and stuff. And when we were leaving the place, I was walking back to the car. I slipped in the ice and fell over into a snowbank. And I was totally fine. Like, it didn't hurt or anything. Because I, like, luckily fell in a way where I just put my leg in the air and fell straight to my back into the snowbank. God. But it was right in front of this window of the restaurant. And, like, 4 people, like, kind of started getting out of their chairs. Like, oh no, shit. The crippled guy fell over. Like, that's a bad word. Sorry, not crippled. But, you know, the guy on crutches just fell in the snowbank. People were, like, ready to jump out and start helping me. And I was just laughing. I was like, oh, no, I'm fine.
Like, no way did that just happen.
But I was like, damn, if I would have fallen on the other side, because it was on my good side, if I fell in my... Jeez. But then I also later made the stupid mistake of... this was a little further, so I was crutching around fine. I just wanted to get outside. Went to the local skate park just to, like, hang out and watch. And I was just on the outskirts. And, of course, a board just comes flying at me. Dude. And I try to avoid it. And I, like, slip. My crutch slips, and my weight goes on my bad foot. And then I just completely fall over. And everybody in the skate park just went silent. And it was, like, the most awkward thing ever. And it hurt so bad that I just, like, got up and just crutched away. Didn't say anything. I was just like, I'm out of here.
Oh, my God.
It was the worst experience.
Heat-seeking missile to that leg.
Yeah. So the danger rough, is real.
It is, yeah. You're
out
so,
there in
like,
the world,
vulnerable with a broken leg.
Yeah. Or, like, people tend to just like touch it. I don't know if you ever had that. Like,
yeah. Even like gently touch it. You know, it's so sensitive at first. So, dude, I actually, you know, with crutches, people ask questions all the time, and I found out this winter, you know, someone asked me what was up. It's like, oh, I broke my tib fib. And they're like, you wouldn't believe this, but this person I know just broke their tibia and fibula, like, slipping on the ice. And I think 3 people told me that this winter. Like, not even kidding. 3 separate people, you know, to do that slipping on the ice, it would be so rough.
Yeah.
Like, that's pretty
Dude,
embarrassing. But
one thing I'm
happens.
Grateful about skateboarding and snowboarding is that we know how to handle our body going to the ground. Where, like, I mean, a lot of people get seriously injured from slipping on the ground.
Stepping out of a car.
Yeah. Like that's how people break their hip. That's how, you know, how the hell do you break your tib fib from slipping on the ground? Like, you must have to get in a crazy position. You know what I mean?
Like, sit on your leg somehow or something.
It's got to be something like that. But yeah, it's like if we slip on the ice, we're just like, you know, cat reflexes basically.
No,
which I feel like I'll carry that until I'm old, and, like, I think I'll probably be able to avoid breaking my hip as an old man just because I'll at least know, like, where to fall in the most efficient way, you know?
That's very true.
So it's kind of a blessing.
It is, yeah. God. It's crazy to think about ice taking people out. Yeah, I guess, like, you know, this winter in Minneapolis, it was, you know, during that polar vortex, everything froze over. And I guess that they had, like, a record amount of emergency room visits from people slipping on ice. It's pretty bad. Like, head injuries, hips, legs. Oh. It's not good for the crutch situation.
Dude, no.
So scared.
The crutches are sketchy on ice.
Yeah, not much traction.
For sure. Yeah.
But hyped to be off. Hyped to be walking soon.
Yeah.
Or I guess now, but.
Okay, and so I have one more thing. You know, you've gotten through this whole recovery process, but outside of that and just life in general, what gets you up every day? What keeps you going? What makes you feel good? And what makes you really happy to be alive?
Wow, heavy question. But, I mean, as of right now, I guess it all comes back to snowboarding, to be honest.
Yeah.
It's what I've liked to do for over 10 years now, and, you know, I continue to do it, and it's going to help me get through this rehab process, and basically kind of runs my life right now in a way. You know, everything I kind of do is for snowboarding right now, and helps me live a positive lifestyle, and it's provided me with friends, and giving me a life, honestly.
Yeah, it's crazy. The places it can bring you, the people you can meet. And yeah, like having something happen like this and to have something like that to motivate you to get better. It's amazing.
Yeah, full circle, really.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's definitely keeping me going.
Yeah, that's great, man. Cool. Well, thank you for sitting down with me. I was really curious how you got through this whole recovery process compared to what I went through, and I'm sure other people will be very curious to the whole thing as well. It's a crazy thing to go through. You're going to come out on the other side and you're going to be good as new pretty soon here. So
thanks, man.
Yeah. And thank you for providing inspiration to others out there who maybe are getting through an injury. Like, you know, it's only temporary. And
yep.
It happens to a lot of people.
Yeah, definitely does.
Cool, man. Well,
thanks, Jesse.
Yeah. Cheers, dude.
See you.
Bye. Hey, thanks for listening, guys. As always, you can hit me up on email, on the emails at boardbagstudio@gmail.com or on the Instagrams at boardbagstudio. Or you can hit me up personally at Jedi Pauls. I'm Jesse Paul, once again, signing out. And until next time, stay healthy, stay happy.